When the party had defeated a devil that was trying to summon a great old one into the world. So congratulations on that. I wasn't actually expecting you guys to beat it all by yourselves, so that was something fun.
Be honest,
Because we're awesome.
was Gale supposed to help us in any way until we insulted him grievously?
No, he wasn't supposed to help, but I had put in the Marilith as kind of potential helper. Because she had mentioned that she wanted to fight the devil, and you guys just ran in and started fighting all on your own. And I was pretty impressed that you took down that challenge rating 18 devil all by yourselves.
We
were
just
pretty stunned
rolled
we
really
didn't die.
well.
Yeah, there were some really clutch rolls there. Really, really lucky.
Are you saying that we've used up our luck for this portion of the Faewild?
No, he's saying that I'm back and I make you unlucky. Mwahaha.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, so basically we still have to figure out how to move the river so that Lysanther can cross and keep leading us where we need to go. There's still the demon in the summoning circle, although she's not, as far as we know, getting out of it. And then there's the giant eye in the pond.
There's some issues here.
Okay, we haven't checked the other way yet. There was one thing there, because it looks like this room is a dead end. Do you want to spend time investigating and trying to look for like secret passages or doors?
Out of curiosity, did Ysmyr tell us, were we all privy to the fact that the devil had maybe sealed the demon inside the summoning circle and was maintaining it longer than it should be? Because that was a thing last time, I think, right?
From what I understand, the Fae were summoning the demon to fight the devil. Devil killed all the Fae, so demon's stuck in the circle.
Tempus is going to suggest we just go back and check on the demon circle on the basis that if the devil is gone, the circle might fade and the demon might get loose.
Yeah, and if we can take a rest, I could also try banishing it if it's willing to just go home.
Yeah, and it definitely sounded ambivalent about whether or not getting out of that circle would just want to fight or take off home.
Also, we hadn't searched this room.
And Yaereene
on the demon first, or do we want to search?
And Yaereene lost her memory.
No, Yaereene did not permanently lose that. I came very close.
Oh, you didn't lose your memory for the last 5 hours?
No, I made the last roll. It was terrifying.
Well, if you guys are amendable, I'll split up and I'll just quickly go check on the demon circle room and just make sure that the circle doesn't look like it's about to fade. If you guys want to search this room. Anybody that wants to come with me is welcome to do so.
I feel like Rhodes would.
Yeah, Yaereene would. You get into trouble on your own.
Me?
Ysmyr, do we split it or do we keep together?
Let's do a quick check in here and then head back.
All right. So you want investigation or perceptions from us?
For what?
Searching the room. We're looking for secret doors.
Anything the devil would have left, like make sure the little mushroom, like the mushroom didn't have any little mushrooms popping up. Anything?
Give me an investigation check.
For me as well.
Or one person can do it with advantage, whichever.
Yeah, you take it.
Okay, I made the first roll before that, so 1 sec.
Oh!
Well, 15's not bad.
Yeah, but still, you had an 18 plus.
Yeah, you don't find anything of interest in here. The room is empty. All the devils that were in here have disappeared completely, along with everything that they had on their persons. The only thing that you see is the organ in the corner that the imp had been playing when you came in.
Are those sarcophagi on the ends of these wings?
Yes.
Did her investigation incorporate those?
Yeah, there's nothing inside those.
Now, I'm just looking deliberately for like secret doors or secret passages.
Yep, that would have been included in that roll.
Okay, so this is Sweet FA.
Tempus, you head down to the demon room and see the Marilith still skulking about in the circle of blood.
All right. Ysmyr, I'm heading back. You coming?
Yeah, I'll come.
Oh, the Tempus has gone down that way while you guys were searching the room. So you guys are doing your investigation of that full room.
Yeah, I know we're behind.
I noticed that both Rhodes and Yaereene seem to be holding back a little bit. Are the two of you coming into the room or just sort of hanging back a little?
Ian might talk to me.
Rhodes will come up front with you.
But if it says anything to you, I'll translate for you.
Well, you might have to be in the room for that.
I can hear.
It's all right, Yaereene. You can stand behind us.
Yeah, nice try, KTR. You split the party, you stay back there.
I was just putting it there for like when
No.
resolved.
No. You split the party. So you guys see the Marilith in front of you. What would you like to do?
Just a quick inspection of the circle around her. Does it appear to be like fading in any noticeable way?
You can give me an investigation check.
May I also make a similar check?
Yeah,
I would
or
also
you
like
can,
to throw my lot in if I could.
or you can take advantage on one roll.
I'll give one of you advantage because my investigation is
Rhodes.
garbage.
Rhodes. Give Rhodes advantage.
Why me? I only have +1.
Oh, we're equal.
You can take the advantage, Yaereene.
Okay, I'll roll the game.
All right.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So, I mean, it looks the same as the last time you were in here. I don't think you looked at it all that closely, but still looks the same.
And does she have anything to say to us while we investigate the circle?
No, but she is watching you very intently.
Specifically Tempus?
All of you.
Or shall I say Raging Love Machine?
Jesus.
Yeah, every time you don't use the code word, a fairy loses its wings. So the code names, I should say.
Okay.
Don't make it that pleasurable.
For the love of God. Yeah, you're not seeing anything untoward here, and she's looking at all three of you.
So
Just-
if we let you out of the circle, what you gonna do?
She says something in Abyssal to you that you don't understand. Yaereene does. She's just saying, "I don't speak your language."
Should we wait for the others, or should? Oh goodness!
Just tell us what she said, Yaereene. It'll be okay.
She says she doesn't know what she's saying. She doesn't speak that language.
Can you repeat to Tempus and I what Tempus said in Abyssal?
She'll hear me.
That's okay. You can whisper it so that we know what to say to her.
Yaereene, in your head.
In my head.
I just sent you a message.
Oh God! Yaereene bolts. Guys.
Presumably, we heard her bolting, and Tempus is just going to give the demon an even stare and say, "If I find out you were rude to her, I'm gonna pull your tail off and make you eat it." And we'll follow Yaereene.
And actually, Ryan, I'm sending you a question.
Sure.
I'm going to position myself where I can see Tempus and Yaereene and our demon friend.
She talked in my head. She said she could hear me.
Well, what was that? All she said?
Yeah, but she talked inside of my head.
Well, yeah. Didn't she do that earlier as well?
Felt like it was mostly out loud. Like you and I are talking right now.
Well, I think that the comment that when she said she could hear you would probably be in reference to, your general physical presence as opposed to your thoughts.
Okay, you want to try it again?
Only if you feel up to it. I don't know that we're going to get anything of value here, but, it's a demon. It's metal and cool and powerful.
Hi again, said an abyssal. Why are you talking inside of my head now? She says she's doing it because it unnerves me. It does. It does unnerve me.
Such is the way of evil creatures like that to try and gain an advantage.
She's laughing in my head now.
Huh. Well, when the party rests, I guess we can just come back here and pull her apart. No problem.
Oh, And she says if she gets out of here, we all die. That's not comforting. Well, you do realize but this is not incentive for us to let you out now, right? Actually, we were just talking about it. But, we have to go now because you're kind of bloodthirsty and crazy.
And as you leave, she draws 6 swords and slams them against an invisible barrier, and you just hear this god-awful scream in your head, Yaereene.
And she just, she's taken off.
Rhodes is going to look to Tempus and just be like, well, I guess she does not want to play nice today.
Well, that's a shame. I mean, would have been cool if we could, unleash a demon to look after the refugees, assuming that we could make a real smart, comment or promise for it. But, oh well. We'll murder her, and then Dowreth will have her soul in the abyss, and she will suffer greatly for eternity. Bye-bye, and we'll walk back to the rest of the party.
Okay. You guys get back together, no problem. Just as Kaetiara and Ysmyr are finishing up investigating the room.
Well, it's a lot of nothing in here. Well, I
Well,
mean, there's still the organ, but somehow I don't want to get near that thing.
Well, shall we take a short rest and get back to exploring the rest of this base? It doesn't seem like the demon threat is immediate.
Yeah, what happened with that?
She says she's going to kill us all. Here's in my head.
Do you all think something to tick her off?
That's interesting, because originally, she was making it sound like it could go either way, but this time she's just straight out for our blood.
Seems like it. I don't think I did anything.
I guess she was trying to fake us out the first time.
And she said she laughed in my head because it unnerved me.
Well, I guess we need to wind our way back and try the other side and see if there's a way that we can get through and keep Dad with us.
Well, we don't necessarily know where the exit to this place is just yet, and I don't want to leave that demon behind, so after we rest up, are we going to go get her?
I don't think fighting the devil was hard enough. I really don't want to take a chance with a demon. I would have liked to just banish her, but that's it.
Can you do it while the ward is up?
I have no idea. I don't have to go in there and touch her, at least.
Well, I guess then the idea is to go do a short rest, then either banish or whack the demon. Is that it?
Or just keep exploring.
I don't remember if I pointed this out last time, or if you guys even had a chance to look afterwards. But that pool of water in the yellow room to the west is gone now. There's no eye peering up at all. It's just a stone floor.
No, you had not mentioned that.
No, that's new.
Okay, sorry.
And looking at it, that means the water pouring down there should be gone. That was creating all the crap. If there's no water there to keep replenishing it.
Yeah, so let's take that short rest. Let's get our hit points back. Let's finish exploring, banish the demon, and go find Lysanther.
Sounds like a plan. So we're doing the short rest up here since we know there's no pass and no entries. That's a lot of dice.
It's just 4 hit dice. It takes me down to 1 less than my full hit points. So yeah. And I figure we're just going to rest here. Enjoy the ambiance.
Oh, that was weird. I went in D&D Beyond and did the short rest and wanted 5 hit die and I didn't see them.
I'm rolling mine separately.
Okay, I got 1 die for a 10.
Should I be alarmed that the organ music suddenly started up for me?
Well, you guys said you were staying here for the ambiance, so I thought I'd give you some.
So during the short rest, no objection to us talking, having conversations amongst ourselves?
Nope.
Exertion that screws it up.
Well, during the short rest, then, Tempus gonna grab Yaereene and Princess carry her over to a corner and set her down and basically be like, you have been so very brave, and I kind of feel I haven't really been, a very attentive boyfriend lately, that I've been engaged in all of my own stuff. So we can talk, or I can sit here in silence and, I don't know, rub your feet or something.
Oh, and she'll just kind of snuggle into him. It was so scary, the talking. It was the worst.
Well, but you handled it so great. Where did you learn to speak the language of demons, anyway?
And she will blush a deep red. Well,
All the goth.
it wasn't really something that my parents, first knew about. And then they weren't very happy when they found, apparently it's not, anyway, it wasn't what they were looking for, apparently. Apparently it's not a proper elvish thing.
Well, Tempus just going to nod understandingly, even though he has no idea what you're describing.
Let's just say that I didn't always, somehow I always got it wrong. Whatever I was trying to do, they said, learn languages. I learned languages. And it was still wrong.
Tempus is just going to think on how long it's taking him to learn to speak Elvish, and he's going to quietly wonder in his own mind, how do you learn an entire language without somebody checking in to figure out what you're doing? And I think he's just going to file that away as Yaerene's parents were bad parents and leave it at that.
Probably a good analysis of the situation. Uninterested parents.
And yeah, that's it. Just an hour of pleasant conversation.
Okay. Anybody else have anything that they would wish to discuss over the hour rest?
I would like to attune to the Scimitar of Speed during this as well. Just having it sitting with me.
I guess I would also like to attune to that telekinetic ring,
Sure.
assuming that was not done last session.
Yeah, I didn't know, so I just figured I'd say it now.
I guess that's stat off of Frost too, just in case. Otherwise, I think it's just sit and rest and recover.
Okay, so the hour passes uneventfully.
Well, time to slog back and see if what's going on.
Do you want to check these other entrances to this room first?
Either we're going back to worry about the demon, or we're just going to leave her and check everything else.
Well, did they mention to us that the lake has dried up?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then we need to go back and look in that room and see if there are some entrances from there, because the water is not running, or, it's dried up.
We checked all the doors in that room.
That sounds like a call to go slay the demon. Let's do it.
I'm looking at the map, and there's actually this little thing just to the north of where it leaves, where there's a pathway there, even with the lake present. And I'm wondering if we walk in and we see that there's actually something there.
That feels something we should have found when we were actually looking in the room.
I'm gonna worry about the demon until we know what's happening.
Okay, as we're walking back to the demon, I am looking to call it the east wall in between the lake and where we came in, to see if there's now pathways showing up with that dried up.
Okay. As you head into the yellow room, you can see that there's the doorway in the east wall, and just south of the doorway there is a pathway where the river had been running before.
Is anybody else coming to this room or no?
I don't think we're splitting the party again.
No,
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm there. So I'm going to move over to where I think this passage is. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a door there in front of you.
I'll wait for everybody to catch up.
Tempus has opened the north door.
I was sprinting.
Yeah, Tempus, you found the loo. Congratulations.
Are you going to search it?
Ooh, I will, just because it's the grossest thing I can think of.
Shen, there's a bag of holding.
Are we playing that gag again?
Okay, so it's a bag of holding underneath one of the seats?
So in a previous game, I offered the players the loot of a bag of holding, but the occupant of the house was using it as their porter potty.
Oh dear.
Is Tempus trying to intimidate the toilet?
That was supposed to be an investigation, which would take it down to a roll of 6.
I actually like the idea
Oh God, that's fabulous.
of Tempus just coming up to a toilet and screaming at it.
All right, toilet, I'm gonna have none of your shit today. Yeah, no, that's an investigation of 6 to search the loo.
Yeah, you're not finding anything.
That was really funny, though.
Come on, guys. There's a door down here, and I don't want to go in and get whacked before you can help me.
Everyone's placed. I'll kick the door for Katiara.
Ah, thank you, sir.
And I can't enter that area because it appears to be I'm colliding with a wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Did you click the door open, just in case?
Yeah, and somebody clicked it shut on me is I think what happened there. So
Probably me.
Where is the door? Because it's just showing up as black for me.
Oh yeah, you're a little. It's a little
You
dark.
don't have light?
Can you click off your character for a sec?
It's not making a difference for me. Remember, Rhodes does not have dark vision.
But I think you're doing the right thing by checking in this passageway. Is it dry in there as well, Ryan?
I spotted something going around the corner.
Yeah, it's dry.
Can you light for yourself?
Do we want me to cast light in here?
Maybe not. Do you want to hold my
Well-
sleeve?
Here's the thing, like, we've checked in here, so you might be okay.
There was a giant eyeball in here the last time we checked in here.
I just went through the doorway on the far side of that corridor, and I don't see you, Tempus.
All that being said, I, as a player, I can't find the door. Like, I don't know where I'm going.
Okay, well, I think we are out of options now.
Sorry.
Holy shit, you guys went a totally different way.
I just paused it because everybody has split up into different areas, and so I would like to just kind of take it character by character, since you're all seeing different things. So Tempus, you walked around the corner, and
I did.
see when you went around the corner.
I think that there was like something on that little ledge that has a body on it.
Yeah, that would be accurate. Okay. So when you popped around the corner, little guy, actually, I'm not sure how big he is. He is medium. Okay, so he's not that little. This weird bearded creature looks at you and starts spouting off in language that you don't know.
Well, Tempest is just going to stand there and cross his arms and just give him a cool glare back.
Okay. Yaereene and Rhodes, your guys' perception is pretty good. You hear that somebody's talking to Tempus up ahead. Rhodes, you can't see what is going on, but Yaereene, you can see Tempus has folded his arms across his chest and is glaring at somebody.
Did I hear the words that were spoken to him?
Yes, but it's in a language you don't know.
Oh, thank goodness. So I won't move. I assume we're not moving until we know what's going on.
Well, I think the thing is, we never established if we were going in the side passage or the tunnel up above. We were trying to figure out Rhodes' issue first, and then everyone just started going different ways.
Yeah, like if we're going in the hallway, I've tried clicking on where I assume a door to be. I can't, like, it's entirely black for me and I can't get in that space. If we're going through the passage, it looks like I can go that way.
That was the problem. No one chose where we were going. It was like Rhodes never tried to go
you guys
hallway.
Yeah, but people are moving their characters around, so I can't just be like,
I assume that
went
people
down
are
the
doing
corridor.
stupid things.
I went down the corridor.
Okay,
'cause I
here's
thought
what
that's where
happened,
everybody was
guys.
going.
Here's what happened, guys. Shen was trying to figure out how to get in the door, but because she was having trouble, she lined up on the passage, and then people just, like, Tempus and Yaereene started that way. Katiara had already charged down the hallway. I didn't mean to end up where I was, so it was just, like, my thing was being stupid. So we're all over the place because of that.
And it sounds like we could legitimately have gotten there because we were all being stupid. Some of us were trying to help Rhodes. Some of us were wandering off on our own. This has happened in our group before.
Yeah, it's not out of character.
It was a lack of map discipline on my part.
I just want to establish: is everyone committed to where they were? Or did Rhodes mean to go where they are? That kind of thing.
Okay. I will say that Rhodes can change position if wanted, but everyone else was going where they were going. So Rhodes, did you want to go down this little side passage, or did you want to try to go through that door?
TBD. Because I tried moving through the door and I couldn't get through that space, and then I guess I accidentally found the passage.
Okay, can you see anything when you're in the hallway right now?
Majority of my screen is black still. So it's doing that thing again where the space that I have been in is now, like, I can see it, but everything around me is black.
Right. I think that's because there's no light in this particular passage.
Yeah.
So you're wandering around blind.
Going back to the offer Yaereene had made of having a hold of her sleeve, I will probably end up where Yaereene is based on that. I am okay with that decision.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, just wanted to make sure that was established because I was getting questions.
But I as a player can't see the map to maneuver, so I may be at the DM's mercy until otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, you could cast a light spell to be able to see as everyone else can, but if you've made the decision to not cast light spell, then I will move you along as Yaereene moves.
Yeah, I will reserve casting light until I know I am in deep enough trouble to need it. For now, if by not casting it I won't draw any unwanted attention, I am fine with holding on to Yaereene's sleeve like a small child.
Okay. Actually, when I click on your token now, it looks like you can see ahead. There's a bit of red light glowing, and so you can see Tempus in the red light ahead, arms crossed, glaring ahead.
I can see Tempus specifically, but only that space. I can't see the pathway to Tempus.
That's right. Yeah, the pathway that you're in right now is pitch black, but ahead you can see the light is shining on him from a different area.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so Yaereene, how are you handling the situation, seeing that what Tempus is in?
I am going to go forward, leading Rhodes up so that we are all together.
Okay.
Can I see what he is seeing now?
Yep.
I have line of sight on the map.
Yeah, you can see there's a bearded figure standing there, and when he sees you, he starts talking. With your amazingly keen sense of linguistics, you get the sense that he's speaking a different language than the first time. I still don't think you understand it, though.
Is he hostile or not?
He doesn't appear to be showing any signs of hostility. And yeah, none of you understand the language that he speaks the second time.
And have I ever seen his race before?
Probably not, but maybe. What would I roll for that? Nature, maybe?
Sure, let's find out.
Nope.
She will hold up her hands peacefully right
Okay. All right. Katiara, you have wandered back into the large room, and you see that it's pretty much empty except for a little fairy creature off to the east.
Okay, so that is a fairy creature.
Yeah, it's a pixie.
I feel like Rhodes, by virtue of quite literally being led blind into the situation, is going to lean over to Yaereene and Tempus and go, "Where's Katiara and Ysmyr?"
Can't see him, not sure.
All right, I look, I wave at the pixie, and then I GTFO back in and shut the door.
Okay.
And that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I go back to there and I just tell Ysmyr, I don't know where the rest are. There's a pixie on the other side there, but the rest of it's just the way it was. I didn't see Dad down at the bottom. Has Dad GTFO'd, or do you just not have the token there?
Yeah, you don't see him there, and the water is gone too.
Right. Dad's no longer down there, so I don't know if he's gone on without us or he's looking for us somewhere else. But I'm just worried about the other three.
Well, you had gone ahead that way. They were still back there, so let's go this way. I'm not worried about Lysanthier.
Okay, it's just I thought everybody was going through the door. I didn't, but
well,
be that as it may, we just want to get back with the rest.
Everyone charged off in different directions. I wanted to make sure you were fine, so let's go.
Oh, thank you, my queen.
So again, this creature speaks, and this time, Yaereene, you understand. It's speaking in Sylvan, and it says, "Oi, what happened to our water?"
Hi, I don't know. We left the room and we came back and there was no water. I was hoping that you knew.
Nope. We was just hanging out here and dipping our toes in, and it just all dried up.
Do you know what the big eyeball was?
I don't know about no big eyeballs.
Well, my friends are going to come, and one of them knows like everything. She might be able to help.
Guys, I need to do a quick BRB.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, if you want to find your friend who knows everything, then we'll wait here and maybe sing some songs or something.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay.
And I will
And,
tell Tempus and Rhodes what's going on.
And you do hear them start to sing, low, gravelly voices singing in a language that you don't know.
So I will lead Rhodes out with Tempus. I'm hoping he's restarting his Discord and see if we can find Ysmyr.
Don't notice much of an improvement, but that's okay. Did you tell us that these guys were dabbling their toes in the water?
Yeah.
Tempus is going to point out that Lysanther didn't even want to touch the water, and yet these guys are in a corridor dipping their toes in it. That's suspicious.
Ooh, good call.
But if you're going to lead us out, we'll follow you out.
Yeah, I think so, just to find Ysmyr, because she might know what's going on.
Okay, I apologize for my previous bad map discipline. I will follow Yaerene's lead.
Okay. You guys head back out and get back into the yellow room about the same time that Ysmyr and KTR would get there.
And I'll explain that there's two guys in there that want to know where their water went, and I didn't know what to say to them. So I came and got you.
I don't know where their water went. I'm going to assume the devil had something to do with that.
But you probably know what to say to them.
Tempus will repeat his suspicions for the group's benefit, but that's it. Not suggesting any course of action or anything.
Would I know anything about what they look like or why there might be a difference in what they care about the water?
You can give me a nature check. Not a clue.
Okay. Yeah. Not sure if that means anything that they cared about the water. Possibly just being different fae creatures. They care less than Lysanther did. But we can either go back that way or up into the hallway, and the hallway leads right back to the room we entered this place in.
It seems like there's a lot of different things going on in this place.
Since we're over here, I'd like to go slay the demon, please.
I don't want to fight a demon, Tempus.
Yaereene is going to beam at Tempus for being so polite about it, though.
Aw. Well, can we try to see if you can banish her then?
Tempus, I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that if the demon cannot get out of where she is, we should either A, not provoke her, or B, do anything to mess with the bounds, considering we do have extra consideration in this party to consider, i.e., the future to be born.
True enough, but I think I'd be able to tank her pretty good. I'm just thinking of, the portal is going to be right below the castle where there's going to be a bunch of refugees. If one of them should stumble down here, do we really want to leave that thing behind to cause trouble and make deals with people?
I can see how that would be a problem.
Maybe your daddy dearest can shed some light on the situation.
I'm back.
We're discussing our next course of action. Tempus has chosen violence.
Okay, so you went down in there. What the hell was down there?
Two guys wondering where their water went.
Oh, is it a dead end? Is it worth going through? Did they be jerks? What?
I don't know.
We'll fill you in on what it is that we saw, that it was two supposedly fairy creatures hanging out there. But Tempus is going to toss in that he's a little bit suspicious of them because they were apparently paddling in the water without issue, versus Lysanther, who didn't even want to touch the water that was streaming across the room.
Aye, that's fishy as hell, that is. Because he said all fae have problems with water. It sounds more like there are demons or devils trying to beguile and fish you in.
He wasn't willing. I will point out, he just wasn't willing to cross it. That doesn't mean he doesn't like dipping his toes in it.
Ryan, from what I understand, like, fae don't like dealing with water, period.
I can see why you'd say that.
Thank you very much for clearing up the situation with your usual profundity.
Happy to help.
Okay, we can discuss this all we like, but I'm on a time limit. I'm a dad. My time here with you guys is precious because I don't have enough free time. So I demand action. Why don't we just roll a d20? Whoever gets the highest roll gets to decide our next course of action.
Wow. All right then. I mean, like, we're not going to trust them. There's a little pixie on the far side of the room that we were in. Da's no longer in there, and I'm sure Ysmyr told you that. And we still have the demon in the room below us that wants to kill us. Do we just want to get rid of the demon for the sake of humanity? Oh, yeah.
I want to roll a d20 and see who rolls highest. That's what I want to do.
All right, rollies it is.
You know, I'm sitting there thinking, roll low, roll low, roll low.
I mean, we can be abstract as to how we come to the decision, but like, we could assume that we all argued for it and just, somebody eloquently persuaded us. But Jody, you're up. Unless, come on, Rhodes, Ysmyr, get in this.
And please roll high.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you rock.
Oh no.
There we go.
All right, Rhodes, where do you want to go?
Why don't we see what information we can get from our toe-dipping fellows down the cavern here? If we can confirm whether or not they're Fae, that would answer a lot of Tempus's concerns.
Okay. Rhodes, do you want to be led back again?
Sure,
Or
but
do you
I
want to cast light? Because we at least know they're there and they know we're there.
Okay, yeah, I'll cast light this time.
What are the dimensions on that?
20-foot radius. So bright light 20-foot radius, dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Okay, you should have a light radius now.
Ah, yes, I can see again.
Okay. So Tempus and Yaereene, you guys come around the corner, and they see you, and again they speak in Sylvan because Yaereene was able to understand that, and they say, "Oh, did you bring your friend who knows everything?"
I did, but she might not know everything she says, but she knows lots. And she'll translate for the whole party.
Yaereene, you gotta stop toting stuff like that. Someday it's gonna get me in trouble.
I'm so sorry.
But
So does your friend who knows everything know where the water went?
She'll translate.
I only have a guess that when the devil was killed, the water disappeared. Like maybe the devil was making the water.
Oh, there was a devil? They're scary. I don't like devils.
Yeah, so I'm just assuming Yaereene is translating.
Perfectly, yes.
Yeah.
So the water was probably caused by the devil, so it wasn't really good water or supposed to stay anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it felt okay on her toes.
Yeah, well, that's good at least that nothing else happened. I have a friend who was wondering how you were able to dip your toes. We thought Faye just didn't like water at all.
Oh, well, water's not so bad as long as you don't cross it. If you cross it, then you've got to leave something behind, and that's no good. But if you just dip your toes in, that's okay.
Leaving something behind, that can't be fun.
No, not really. But it's okay, because we didn't need to cross the water. We can just walk through the stone.
So you
Really?
go
How do
into this.
you walk through stone?
Oh, we just can. We just like you're walking on the ground right now. You can just walk right through the stone.
I see. Sorry, I haven't met creatures such as you. Can I ask what you are?
Oh, sure, you can ask.
No, that is fair. All right. Are you all right if my friends and I continue down this tunnel? We're not impeding on anything of yours otherwise?
Nope, it's not our tunnel. We built some of the stuff around here, but not this tunnel. This one was new. That's why we were down here, just taking a look.
New tunnel. Do you know who made it? Or was it
Nope.
just the water?
I think it was just the water.
Okay.
When you say new, how new?
Well, new enough. Time's kind of funny down here. It's hard to say how long things happened. But it happened not too long ago, I guess.
Can you tell us what this area looked like before the water? I mean, this
Well-
whole set of hallway as it is. The entirety of the basement.
It looked pretty much the same way it does, except, the Yaladrin were alive. That was the thing. Most of the rooms are the same as we made them. Yeah, just this spot's different. So that's why we were here hanging out.
Do you know why all the Eladrin are dead?
No, we didn't really see what was going on there. No.
Okay, well, if everyone's okay, I guess we'll be on our way.
All right. Have a good time.
I have one more question, or perhaps a few more, depending on your answers.
Okay.
Have you been down the entirety of this pathway that the water had created? Do you know what's at the other end of it?
No, we didn't travel along the river. We just kind of walked here through the stone, and found this. Well, it had been a ledge in the water, but now there's no water in here at all. But yeah, no, we don't know where the water comes from or where it goes. We're just dipping our toes.
Should we, and this is directed to the party, should we continue on to look for where the source might have been?
Well, wouldn't the source have been the lake with the eye in it that we just came from? That's all dried up.
That was the source.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure which direction the water was running. Then where the water flowed to.
And how did the eyeball make
Okay,
water?
sorry. For you, Shen, the water flowed to the room we entered with Lysanthier.
Yeah, and we went through all these rooms because Lysanthier said that he couldn't cross the water. So we were looking for alternative paths and then came across all this.
Yes, but do we want to follow this pathway and see how far it runs, or did we want to go back to the hallway and go that route?
You run the roll. You tell us where we're going.
I mean, we could go back to the room that we first came into from here, I think, or we could go back and...
We're doing a lot of backtracking. How about we just forge ahead?
So we're just going to leave the demon in the ring and hope it holds.
We didn't say we wouldn't come back. We're just forging ahead now.
All right, off we go.
So you guys are discussing the plans, and Tempus goes first, and all of a sudden he just disappears.
Into the stone?
No, he was like walking along the path and then just gone.
And it looks like our buddies have disappeared as well.
They should still be there.
I still see them.
I still see him.
I don't, but I don't know if that's because
It might be line of sight for you. Also, the game is paused, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I paused it at the point that Tempest disappeared, just so nobody else wandered while I was describing what happened. I'll turn it back on now.
Tempus?
Yaereene also disappears.
Oh my goodness!
Why would you go forward?
Because Tempus was missing.
Rhodes will look back and be like, maybe it's wise that someone should wait here. I'll go check on them.
That doesn't seem wise. No.
And
Going forward until we know what happened?
Jesse and Jody, I sent you private messages in Discord as well.
It's either we leave Tempus and Yaereene to themselves to figure out what this is, or somebody follows them.
Oh, okay, I can
We're
finally
in the
follow.
faewild. Who knows where they went? Or if they even ended up in the same place.
Then wait here. I'll do my best to bring them back. And Rhodes is going to step forward.
I'm going to grab Rhodes and pull him back.
Make a strength check.
Ugh, you found my freaking kryptonite.
Watch me roll really bad because the dice hate me.
Not worse than me.
I'm not standing here alone.
With a
Hey,
demon that
Rhodes,
wants to kill
you
us.
pull away.
So Rhodes is going to turn to Katira and be like, keep an eye on her. And then he's going to proceed forward.
Let me put a rope on you.
Whoops.
Oh,
This is so
flippin' hell.
terrible. I'm so sorry to everyone.
Well, Ysmyr, do we go through arm in arm or what?
Can we hear them from where we are?
No.
I have no way of figuring out what the hell's going on.
Ysmyr will look at the other two. Do you speak Common or Elvish?
Well, they were speaking Sylvan, and I believe, yeah, I've got Elfish, which let me understand it somewhat.
I mean, Ysmyr has Elvish too, but she's asking if they just speak the actual language.
All right, so we don't misconstrue because it's a different dialect. I think
Ryan, do they or not?
I think Ryan's busy in another time and
Sorry,
space.
I was busy typing to Chen because interesting things have been happening for Rhodes over the last little while. So, what did you guys decide?
I was asking if she looked to the guys and asked if they spoke Common or Elvish.
They do not respond.
Crap. I don't really want to wait here, Kitiara.
I don't have a problem moving on. I just think we need to go together instead of one by one.
All right, I agree with that. She'll hold out her hand for his, and I guess we'll walk forward together.
With you, my queen, I feel confident. And hand in hand, we go to the next area. If we can only go one by one, I'm going to be a dick and move ahead and leave my hand holding hers behind.
Okay. You guys go through. Can you both give me con saves as well?
I am having the
Oh, no.
crappiest rolls.
Okay. Tiara, you age 1 year.
Oh no! I mean, that's not a big deal for KTR, but Rhodes.
So Tiara, you wandered around the Faewild for a year. What were you doing?
I was practicing my music all the while looking for my companions. If I encountered everyone, I was very careful to be distantly polite and not use proper names or say thank you very much other than good. And I've been in the Feywild the whole time, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a very, very strange landscape. Things are always changing and mutable, right?
The area that you went through was mostly tunnels of stone. You didn't really get to the what you have heard of as the Feywild proper, with like magical forests and creatures and stuff like that. Like you somehow fell through some hole that landed you in a rather earthy place.
Oh, okay, so I'm not inspired to try any new music or like broaden my musical horizon.
I would say that you do hear music on your journeys. There are more creatures like those that you had just spoken with, and they all speak languages that you don't understand. But they are often found singing and dancing together in circles of stone, and
Okay,
so there is the opportunity to learn some new stuff there.
I would definitely be using my panpipes to try and join in. Like, and after I master the basic beats and can follow the music, then I would start trying to extrapolate and just take it and weave other tunes that would complement it, but at the same time provide a counterpoint. So, like, I am trying to push my musical talents.
Can you give me a wisdom save?
Yes, I can. Meh, 10.
Oh, did you ever get lucky? Can you add another 2 years to your age, please?
Okay, so I'm now 3 years older.
Yep. And you lose track of time and even thoughts of your friends and home for quite a while, until the point that you feel that you have learned the music of these people, and there's nothing more for you to gain here. And then all of a sudden, it's just like you wake up and you're like, oh my god, my friends, I gotta go find them. And you run off and come out of this tunnel and find them there as though nothing has happened.
Do I feel the years? I mean, I went from 112 to 115, so I'm like thinking it's not that much for an elf.
No, it's hardly anything for you. You don't feel physically different, but you are aware that a great deal of time has passed since you last saw your friends.
Okay, so when I come blasting out, it's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to be so long. I'm sorry. Where's Da? Everyone well? What happened?
And we'll tell you when we get Rhodes back.
Rhodes is still on a wander yog? Or just real life BRB?
Everyone's doing their own thing, I think.
I'm still looking around.
Yeah, everybody. Everybody's here. Everybody's together.
Rhodes will have a very generous amount of facial hair. Like, he probably looks like a wild bushman.
That's it?
Well, he is also wearing clothes, I would assume.
Excellent. Good job.
No,
We are so
I'm
proud of
asking,
you.
like, he didn't go suddenly 40 years older or anything like that.
He might look more distinguished. If he has seen any type of haircut, it would be self-inflicted. So his hair and beard is mostly long and probably not the best well-groomed.
Okay, I'm looking at Rhodes. I'm looking at everyone. How many do I see an appreciable age difference?
Just Rhodes looks a little disheveled. Everybody else looks exactly the same as you remember them from 3 years ago.
Rhodes, you look to have it a bit worse than I did.
Rhodes is gonna dust himself off and go, "Don't worry about it." He's going to glance over at Yaereene and just say a casual greeting in Sylvan and then start inspecting the room like nothing happened.
She is going to whip around in shock.
I blinked
Rhodes,
hard.
how long?
Long enough.
What happened to you guys? And she's really giving
Kira?
Rhodes a side eye right now.
How long for you? You were saying you were late.
You talking to me or are you talking to Rhodes?
Katira, you were saying you were late.
And I actually felt the years pass, right, Ryan?
Absolutely. For you, you've had an extra 3 years of time that's passed for your character.
I was distracted. I was drawn to the music and I took the time to learn it. And then all of a sudden, I realized it had been 3 years. And then I rushed through and I come through and everyone except Rhodes looks like it was yesterday. It's 3 years for me. And I have no idea except nice use of the dialect there, Rhodes. You sound quite accomplished in Sylvan.
I am so sorry. I didn't see anything in that tunnel that would suggest that it would do that to us.
It's not something you need to apologize for, is it?
Yaereene, Tempus, you too?
I just came down the path.
Same. No time passed for me.
Me neither.
We all made it. None of us got lost.
I just start playing some of the new music to see if any of them notice the change.
Is his music noticeably better?
It's not better. It's a completely different style of music, much like you heard the two creatures singing and playing in the room that you just came from.
Now, I'm assuming that I would have heard music like this.
Yes, you would have. You're very familiar with this music because it was one of those creatures that taught you Sylvan, and they took a lot of time singing and dancing as well on their own.
Good to know. So Rhodes is going to look around at the rest of the group and go, "We should find another way back that's not that way."
Well, it's
Well,
not back
where-
anymore unless we go down and through the door that we originally went. But we were trying to go forward without the waters blocking Da. But Da's not here.
There's other doors on the other side of the room, and I think I see a pixie creature. If
Are
nobody,
they still there?
they appear to be on the map. If nobody
Yeah.
has any objections, Tempus is going to suggest that he go talk to the pixie.
Katira, it was 3 years for you, not for us. Nothing changed here that fast. Or that over time.
It's difficult to keep track. I'm thinking, yes, McQueen. I'm sorry I lost you in the Feywild. Tempus wants to talk to the Krita, and you know what? Maybe she can tell us where Da went. Well, I'm assuming it's a she. It could be a he.
Okay. If something happens to me when I cross this body of water, or I don't know if the body of water is still there or
No,
not.
it's gone.
No,
It's
there's
gone.
no water on the map anymore.
Well, Tempus is still taking the excuse to kiss Yaereene because anything could happen at this point if we're just disappearing into time bubbles. So he'll give her a smooch and say, "Remember me as I was," and he'll charge off to go talk to the pixie.
Oh, goodness.
I roll my eyes and I follow.
Rhodes is gonna glance at Ysmyr, crack a smirk, and be like, maybe that's what I should have said before I left.
Hold on, Raging Love Machine. Don't leave without us.
And you watch as Tempus runs across the room and slowly begins to disintegrate into dust, a skeleton falling over. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ysmyr will give a small smile, but she looks worried at what happened to them.
Tempest, you approach this little pixie, and she flies around at lightning speed all around you, and she's just chattering away. Yaereene and Rhodes, you guys both speak Sylvan. You hear her going on and on about how big Tempest is, and he looks so strong, and she like stops and like hugs his arm, and like her arms don't even reach around his bicep, and she's just like she's just in awe of him, and like just buzzing around him, flying, leaving trails of pixie dust behind her, and just chattering about how amazing he is.
Yaereene will come up and just hold his hand.
You have an admirer.
I start playing the music that I learned from the Lurkers.
Okay. Can you
And
give
I
me a
try and
performance
pick a
check?
slow tempo piece to see if it actually slows her down.
Okay. Can I get a performance check?
You certainly can. I think 31 is sufficient.
Yep. You play perfectly, and you've got a tune in mind. And when you start playing it, she does stop zipping around Tempest and looks at you with a baleful glare.
And I look at her and I say, I'm sorry. I thought this would please. I apologize. What would you like to hear?
Just a second. What language are you saying that in?
I'm saying it in. You're saying Sylvan and Elvish are related but not exact.
Yeah, they're not the same.
Okay, so it's kind of like high dialect, low dialect. Like there's understanding, but subtle nuances are lost between the two languages.
Can you give me a wisdom save?
For me?
Yeah, Kichira.
Of course, I roll crit fail.
Oh, no! I was gonna say I don't think Sylvan and Elvish language are
They're
like
both types
Quebec.
of elves.
I don't think they're
so I
like
thought
Quebec
it
French
was,
and France French.
Basically, I thought it was like high and low German.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if he had said something like, your mother's a cow.
I'm also going to take this opportunity to remind you to never apologize to Faye.
So you guys see a sheep where Kichira had been.
Is she still buzzing around in my reach?
Meh. Meh.
Did he? He said he had 3 years. Didn't he learn anything?
Wah wah.
Piss off.
I wonder how much of those 3 years he spent as a sheep.
Meh.
Tempest, to answer your question, yes, now that Kichira is a sheep, she has continued buzzing around you excitedly.
Can I try and rudely just grab her and hold her in my hand? Like, is she small enough for that I could, like, conceivably catch her?
You can give me an unarmed strike, yeah.
Making it reckless.
Yeah, I'm not going to say grapple, because I don't think you can grapple her.
Fair enough. Making an unarmed reckless strike.
Yep, you successfully grab her, and you just see her eyes go wide, and she's got this just totally charmed smile on her face as she looks at you, and she's running her hands over your fingers.
Tempus is going to just give Yaereene like a bit of a, oh my god, I'm so sorry kind of look. And then he's going to run his fingers back through his hair, through his like braid, and say, so, what can I call you?
Rhodes, being the bro that he is going to sidle up beside Tempus and translate with much a similar tone.
Another question is, does Yaereene have any clue on social graces? Did she understand the look?
Do you want an insight check?
Oh, darn straight.
I would like to attempt to give Yaereene an advantage on that check because Rhodes moves closer and elbows her.
Fair enough.
Eh,
I think Ysmyr's just finding an old stool and going to sit on it until this is over.
Tempus is definitely flirting with this pixie.
What? Insight of 15 and that's what she gets?
She drops your hand.
No! No!
The sheep looks up at Tempus and just kind of shakes its head and goes over and lays against Yaereene and just looks up disappointedly at Tempus.
Bro, I tried. I was pulling for you.
I'm gonna make you into a coat, you traitor. Okay, well, it's too late. Tempus has committed, so he's gonna forge ahead and say, so what can I call you?
You can call me Fayetta.
Hi, Fayetta. You can call me Raging Love Machine.
I can just imagine. Like, you also have to picture that Rhodes is translating for both of them.
When you say that, you feel her shiver in your hand, and she lets out a little gasp.
All of a sudden, Tiara is trying to bleed along to Love Removal Machine by the Cult, except it's like what they said.
Can I assume that you're the one who turned my friend into a sheep over there?
Man.
Oh yeah, impressive, isn't it? Yeah, he was playing that awful music, and then he was saying some awful things to me. So he had it coming. I'd never do something like that to you, though. Raging Love Machine.
Well, thank you. Is there some way I could convince you to turn him back into an Eladrin?
Oh, what did you have in mind?
Well, I have all kinds of, and Tempus will waggle his brows and say, questions that I might ask. So, why don't we trade questions for questions, and then we'll bargain on what you just might want to turn my friend back into a, not a sheep anymore.
Oh, I've got some questions for you, Raging Love Machine. And she shivers again.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Selling my soul to a dark god didn't blow up Tempus and Yaereene's relationship, but this just might do it.
I just keep nuzzling against Yareen's leg, like to say, it's okay. He's doing it for me. It's not you.
Oh, good.
Well, ladies first, what's your first question for the Raging Love Machine?
Can I open up that north door and take you somewhere private?
And Yareen's head whips around.
Remember, it can't be too private. You need your translator.
Yup.
Okay, the sheep wanders over and lays down in front of the door.
Shush, Richard, no. Tempus is going to say, well, in order to help us communicate, I'd simply have to bring my friend along with, indicating to Rhodes.
Oh, God. The most awkward setup for a threesome.
He's really big and muscly, too, isn't he? Oh, yeah, I could definitely take both of you up to that private area.
Well, my turn for a question. Did you happen to see where the Fae Prince Eladrin or Duna happened to go to?
I sure did. Let's go.
Well, I might have more questions. Surely you might have more questions for me. After all, the brain is the biggest love organ there is, and communication is so very important.
Meh.
Agree to disagree.
Don't forget, we're looking for
Oh
Orduna
my
too.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, no. Okay, so I've still got her grappled, right?
Yeah, she's not struggling at all.
Quite the contrary.
Matter of
Nuts.
fact, she might have a grip on you too.
Yeah, she does. She's got one arm around your index finger and one around your thumb, and you can feel her like squeezing her a little bit tighter.
Raging love machine. Don't forget where there's other people looking for Orduna too.
Yeah, sorry, Hellhound. This was my best bet at trying to figure stuff out, and now KTR. Excuse me. Now the Kestrel is a sheep.
Meh.
I'm gonna be sorry. What was her name again?
She said you can call her Fayetta.
Correct. I'm gonna say, okay, Fayetta, it's time to reveal my true self to you. I am but a teasing temptress. I have no intention of going anywhere private for, time with you. I'm in a committed relationship, in fact.
You lied to me? And she's
No,
just like her whole demeanor has completely changed.
no, I never did. I simply let you make assumptions and followed you down the path that you were walking.
I start cringing.
Sorry, did I come through okay on my denial of lying to her?
You did. Yep.
Yeah.
I heard
I'm looking at options right now.
So Rhodes is gonna pipe up. He's gonna take a breath and he's gonna shoulder. I'm assuming up between Tempus. Or so our
I-
sheep friend is now with Yaereene, right?
Yippers.
So Rhodes is gonna step up and kind of be like, oh god, I don't know how to do this. No, that was still player me. So he's gonna be like, where my friend might have led you down a path, I will remain true to it.
Oh dear. Meh.
Only one of you?
Please don't find any displeasure with him. His eyes may wander, but his heart is true.
Tempus is like, we can't understand this, can we? Curse you.
No, Yaereene is the only one who can.
And she is looking around all sorts of places. She can't decide whether she should look at Rhodes or be looking away.
Can you understand the conversation? You speak Sylvan?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she does.
I've understood all of this.
Okay. Tempest, she is going to make an opposed acrobatics check to try to free herself if you want to continue to grip her.
Sorry, it automatically rolls at advantage on my sheet because of my aspect of the beast, but when the roll comes through, just go with the first one because I wasn't raging or anything.
Okay.
So a 24 total.
Oh, man. Yeah, you managed to hold on to her. She's trying to squirm to get out of your hand.
Excuse me, that's a 21. I wasn't reading it properly. 21, which I think still
Yeah,
beats her.
It still beats her 20 acrobatics.
Meh.
And she's pounding her fists on your fingers now. She's quite unhappy with you.
Yaereene will nudge Rhodes and nod to Kestrel.
Huh?
Her expression clearly says, fix him.
Meh.
Is the change on Katira permanent? Can someone find that out, please? I don't know what you're talking about.
So Rhodes is going to hold his hand forward and offer it to the pixie to see if she will exchange from Tempus's hand to his, should Tempus allow her.
She glares at Tempest and reaches out to Rhodes.
Tempest says no. No. Right now I have you in my power. If you can strike me down, go for it. But you used your magic against one of our friends. I understand that our ways are not yours, but I'm not going to let you go and take advantage of another one of my friends because you think you were tricked by me.
I'm not
Yeah.
translating that.
I played your game. And I beat you at it.
KTR starts trying to dance, not in the way of the pixies, but in a smooth gliding motion, which he kind of recalls from dad combat moves.
Thank you for the goat foo. I'm not letting her go to Rhodes, and Tempus will have said that. And if you're not translating it, then Tempus is going to say, I'm not going to let her just take advantage of you like that. That's not what a friend does.
Tempest didn't know what I said.
Well, you refusing to translate what he said to her, though.
Oh, okay, so this is still in reference to our bard friend.
Yeah, I'm not letting her go, nor does she get to have her fun with us. Like, nah.
Okay, so Rhodes is going to turn back to the pixie, and what he will say is, just as a show of good faith, is it possible that you return our companion back to the way he was?
He'll come back eventually. It's not permanent.
And how long might it take?
It takes as long as it takes.
But if you had to ballpark it, around
He was
how
a
long?
He was a very bad boy.
It wasn't
Rhodes, are you translating any of this?
Nope.
Jerk.
Yaereene isn't either, but she's watching this like a tennis match.
It wasn't intentional on his part. He just didn't understand the intricacies of your very refined and wonderful culture.
Really? How long has he been here? I've seen him interacting with others of my kind.
He's like that. He's a very slow learner sometimes.
Not my problem.
Oh my god.
It was your mistake.
I'm trying. You wouldn't do this as a show of good faith.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh boy.
Can I give him advantage?
Hold her hand while you do it.
Can I give Rhodes advantage if I just squeeze her a little bit?
I don't know if she's into that.
She is not persuaded to let up on Kaetiara.
Damn her superior roll. With a +5, I thought I was a shoo-in. What would it take to make you consider bringing our friend back sooner?
She looks at you and Tempus, but she's glaring at Tempus now. And she says, I'll talk to you privately. You seem nice.
Okay, Kaetiara in his little sheepy form is gonna headbutt Rhodes gently. And
But why
look
are
up.
you headbutting me?
Yeah, I'm headbutting you in your knee.
You know
But
you have
why
an
are you headbutting me?
You realize you have an intelligence of 2 right now, right?
No, I did not realize that. I
You
thought
are
it was
a
just
sheep.
form.
No, you're a sheep.
It's
All right,
not wild
so I
shape.
just sit there and bleat every now and then like I have been.
Ysmyr is making sure you don't wander off looking for food.
I will step away with you to speak with you, but I'm afraid at this time it can only be to speak.
Rhodes, you're going away?
Maybe later.
You said you wanted to speak in private.
Yes, but I mean maybe later you'll change your mind.
Will you allow me the right to reserve that judgment to myself for now?
Of course. We're all about consent.
And you can promise me that I will return safely to my companions?
Probably.
Now, that's not very nice of you. I was looking for a yes or a no.
Well, it's so hard to say. Your kind are so fragile.
And time, Rhodes. Today.
I can promise you that I'll be gentle with you, and I'll do everything I can to return you to your friends.
I'm sorry, but without a guarantee that I won't return today and safely as I left, I don't think I can go with you.
That's a pity. And she disappears.
Like just out of my hands? Can I still feel her?
You still feel her, but she's vanished. And Kaetiara returns to his form.
Well, if I can still feel her, I'm not letting go. And I'm just going to announce to everybody that I still have her in my grasp.
Is there a point to holding on to her anymore?
I wouldn't let go of her yet.
Can you give me an opposed athletics check at disadvantage?
I rolled just a normal roll, but lower result is 15.
So yeah, you feel a small pinch, and she's gone.
Tempus will drop his hands and sigh and say, I lost her, and then he'll turn to Yaereene and say, I'm sorry. I know the smolder is only reserved for you, but it seemed like an emergency. Kaetiara was a sheep. She meant nothing to me. I wasn't going to go with her. Please forgive me.
I figured it out afterwards. I'm glad you weren't going with her.
I'm back.
You're back.
Welcome back, baby.
And Tempus going to wheel on Rhodes and be like, you stepped off the script and stopped translating for me, didn't you?
It seemed best to leave you out of the conversation.
All right. Which way did the little bitch go?
First things first, this is, what, the second time now a fae has been ticked?
I'm sorry. I learned the music from the faewild. I thought it would please her. I played it. And then
Not every fae likes the same thing.
I know, but it doesn't mean it makes me a sheep for it.
You also said thank you, or sorry.
Nah. I hate this place. I hate it. I hate it. I want out of it. Let's just get on and I'll just keep my goddamn mouth shut because I can't frickin' obey the rules of this stupid blasted place.
Well, I hesitate to head north, because that's where she wanted to go. How do people feel about going east?
East is good.
Whatever anybody else decides, because I can't decide right, period.
All right. So, Tempus, you've opened the door to the eastern corridor. What would you like to do next?
Cast frantic gazes back at Yaereene and see if she's forgiven me for flirting with somebody else in front of her.
Yeah, she appears to be fine now. And she's happy that Katia or Kestrel is not a sheep anymore.
Meh.
Rhodes is going to
sorry, thank you. Thank you very much.
Rhodes is going to lean over to Ysmyr and go, I'm sorry for the things that I said that I didn't translate, and then just look ahead like nothing happened.
She's gonna snap her head back to him and just stare at him narrow-eyed for a minute before looking forward.
Well, looks like everyone's going. We should catch up.
Shall we?
Right.
Wait until everybody's there, Tempus.
Some people might not want to be that close.
By the way, can you see anything, Rhodes?
I can see the door.
Okay, well, Ysmyr's got a hand on your shoulder.
I think I also have the light spell on me. I don't think I've gotten rid of it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I've kept it on your token. If you want it off, I can turn it off.
Or I guess considering it's been 4 years, I'm assuming that spell would have expired.
Yeah, but you might have come back still using it.
Sure, let's keep it on for now.
Okay.
Just keep recasting.
Ysmyr, are you going to join us in the tunnel?
I am in the tunnel.
I can't see you. You must be under somebody else's token. Okay, kick in the door.
I'm right behind Yaereene.
Ooh.
Huh.
Well, this is a thing, isn't it?
I'm bringing up the rear, so I'm just waiting for... Yep.
Ooh, intriguing.
So as you approach Tempus, you can see that this is a sheer cliff face that goes down about 40 feet to a lower area that looks more akin to what you guys would expect the Faewild to look like.
Ryan, are these rocks so much that I cannot go any further?
Nope. It's just difficult terrain.
I
have rope.
I can see a few people in the distance.
And I think I can, I don't know if I can actually see that far, but I believe our father's down there. I mean, assuming it's not dark, yeah, I think we can all see those people down there. There appears to be sources of illumination and everything. Ryan, can we see that scene before us?
Yep, you can see it is illuminated by magical lights that are coming from various mushrooms through the area.
I guess I'll remove my light spell for now.
But it's still 40 feet to get down to.
Well, I can fly down.
And I have a rope that's 50 feet long.
I can climb without issue, but there is also a door right behind us.
Well, let's check that first.
Okay, I'm stepping away for a few minutes.
Does anybody want to check the door for anything interesting, or should I just open it?
Is there a door on the south side?
I'm assuming opening it is either going to fall to Tempus or Rhodes.
Yes.
So with Tempest-like flair, Rhodes will kick the door open.
And just so you know, there is no water in this area either.
I'm being told that I'm colliding with walls, even though I'm trying to back out the exact same way I came in.
Okay, I helped you out there.
Would you also bring Tempus with us? Thank you, Ryan.
Let's hold up. Let's not go too far, either up or downstream.
Do we want to do this, or do we want to go the other way? I mean, somebody said they saw a Da down in the valley.
Now, in the valley, is there still water?
No, all of the water's gone from there too.
Okay.
Now, when I say valley, I'm talking about the other room north of where we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Well-
just making sure.
And Ryan, did we identify one of the people we saw as their father?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
we could just do ascending and let him know that we're over here.
could just wave. He'd probably see us.
Send ascending, look to your south.
Is somebody doing that?
Is that what we're agreeing on to do?
I don't know if it's. I think we either just pick to go back in the room or we keep exploring. It's one or the other.
Message requires me to see the person, right, Ryan?
I'm looking. It just says you point your finger toward a creature within range.
Which is 120 feet.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about seeing because it says the spell doesn't have to follow a straight line and can travel freely around corners or through openings. So if you know the approximate direction that they're in and they're within 120 feet, you should be able to cast message at them.
Okay, so I zap a message and I go, Da, we're going in tunnels to the south that seem to have water in them.
Ryan
actually,
said there
you're-
was no water.
Yeah, there's no water and you're out of range of message.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, I just measured it. It's 150 feet.
Okay, so I back up to the top of the cliff.
No, that is the top of the cliff, is 150 feet.
So try my waving strategy.
All right, I start screaming at the top of my lungs, jumping up and down.
Can you give me a deck save?
All right, interesting.
So who has line of sight through the door?
20.
I can see that Katiara went down. I believe I have line of sight on him.
So you start jumping up and down, waving your hands and yelling, and don't fall down the cliff as some of the stones give way underfoot.
I
You
forgot to hit
manage.
tab, but I was going to say if Katira stands up on like the tip where I had pinged earlier, because I can't ping now for some reason, it's 110 feet from there.
Around the corner?
Right where my cursor is here.
Yeah, that's 120 feet, but it's got to go around the corner. Like it can't go through stone, so it would have to go around the corner. It would still be longer than 120 feet.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at a different piece. I thought this one was him. My bad.
Just catch me up, Katiara. You're trying to get.
I'm trying to get Dad's attention.
Okay, Tempus is going to come up and grab you and say, Katiara, Falcon, don't raise your voice like that. This is, for all we know, he's surrounded by enemies down there, and maybe this is still some part of a test. We can't keep looking to other people's authority. Let's go back there with the rest of the party, get through the door, work our way down to him ourselves, okay?
There's a lot of assumptions in there, but okay.
And we'll return to the group. And Tempest will say, man, code names are hard.
I'm colliding with walls.
Use your arrow keys. One box at a time will get you there. Have we decided if we're going to go through the time tunnels again, or are we just going to try the door to the south of us?
We should avoid time tunnels. At least that's my vote.
Agreed.
Kick in the door, then.
Before you is a mess hall. You can see that there's bodies and blood everywhere. It's a disaster. There's no good food anywhere. Like everything is rotten. It's been in this state for a while.
So you're saying the blood is fresh, or is just really trashed and has been for a while?
It has been for a while, yeah.
Looks like there's 2 doors.
Aye.
One of them would lead back in the direction of the main entry. No guarantees that it actually goes there, though. Do you want to try it quickly and then come back to this door?
Yeah, I'll kick mine open and see what's on the other side. Looks like a hallway.
Then I'll kick mine and see what's on the other side.
More bloodshed and destroyed stores. Looks like whoever came through here just tore the place to shreds.
May I spend a few minutes searching in this room, gang? Nobody has any objections?
None here.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm good.
Tempus is just asking permission to do a little investigating in this room. Bum around, see if there's anything of value.
Yeah.
I
go
guess add me to that investigation since we're both bumming around in here.
I'll give you advantage. You got the better investigation.
Ooh, +1.
ahead. Sorry, that's the door to the south. It's not open for me, so I didn't even know you guys were in there.
Oh,
Yes.
we had done the one on, I guess, the left side, and that was just a hallway, which I'm presuming leads back.
Okay, sorry. Like I said, my stuff was being wonky.
Whoops. I did the same thing. That was not investigation. Whoops. I will re-roll. Or I guess it's +1 either way, so we can keep that.
Score of 11.
Yeah, you're not finding anything of value in here.
Okay. So then do we want to try climbing down the cliff, or do we want to go into the fairy's private room in the north and see if that maybe leads down to where Lysanthir's hanging out?
Judging by where the water runs and where we see water, would I be able to make a connection as to like where the dried up water might have pooled in the valley map?
Yes, like there's still little valleys where the water had been running, so you can see the remnants of that.
So I'll probably mention that it looks like if we do try to follow the water, it is going to come out where we can see a pool had been. We don't know, though, how safe that passage would be, and if we might jump through another time bubble.
So either we just take the chance climbing down the cliff, or we take our chance in the tunnel. What's everyone feel like?
I have a rope.
And like I said, I can fly. I can probably help people. Guys?
I'm just thinking if we should find somewhere sturdy to tie off the rope, and then maybe have possibly either someone strong enough or someone dumb enough to break anyone's fall if they fail at climbing down at the bottom.
I can fly
That
and help
sounds
break
like me.
falls.
Okay, Tempus, thanks.
Tempus gonna scale the cliff.
Well, we should
Can you let us
wait
go
for
down
the rope,
first?
Wait
Tempus.
for us?
Spoil sports. Yeah, I'll wait for you.
Okay, she'll hand the rope and climb down. If Tempest will hold the other end.
Ysmyr will polymorph to dragon form briefly so that she can kind of fly behind whoever's climbing or near them so that she can catch if she has to.
Tempus will hold the rope and help Yaereene rappel down.
Do you need anything from me, or am I just down, Ryan?
No, it's a super easy check with a rope, so I'm not even going to bother making you roll.
Sounds good. I'm down.
Kitiera, you're probably next.
All right.
What's the dilemma?
We haven't sensed any evil in this room.
We don't have sense evil to my knowledge.
Yeah, nobody attempted to sense any evil in there.
All right, sorry, I'm looking through my spells. Okay, I am going to sit down and cast my Find Familiar.
That's going to take an hour.
Why are we worried about that right now?
Wow, I thought it was 10 minutes, not an hour. Yeah, I ain't taking an hour.
So, to catch you up, everyone else is at the cliff waiting to climb down.
Except for Yaereene, who's already down.
All right, I don't have any spells to do anything. Everybody has to move back. It's going to take a dash for me to catch up to everybody else.
That's
We're
fine.
not in
We're not in
initiative. You
combat or
can
anything.
just walk up and climb down. There's no check.
Yeah, if you're willing, Tempus will hold a rope for you and help you scale down the cliff.
And Ysmyr is flying to catch you if you fall.
Well, you want me to go down first, or should I just wait for others?
Yaereene,
I'm already down.
No, I see Yaereene is down, and I know Ysmyr is doing it, and I'm just asking.
Your turn. Go
Somebody
on.
else needing to go before me, or do I wait?
Nope. And Tempus pushes him off the cliff. Just kidding. It's your turn. Go for it.
And I scream as I fall.
No, we put you down nicely with a rope.
And again, Ysmyr is flying, so if you fall, she's going to catch you.
All right. What type of roll check do I need? Acrobatics or athletics or?
It's easy enough that nobody's going to fail it anyway, so you can just climb down because there's a rope.
All right. I'm at the bottom. There I am. Next.
Rhodes, you coming down?
That looks like me. Is there anywhere to tie it off for Tempus, or is Tempus just going to climb down himself after?
I'm just going to climb down myself. Don't want to leave the rope tied up here, unless...
Well, Ysmyr can hold it.
Oh,
Oh,
she does
let's-
have the gloves of ogre strength, and then she can fly down, technically.
Let's be honest. Tempest wants to jump down and do a superhero landing move.
That sounds like it'll hurt my knees, but in reality, Tempus is going to see if he can find a place to secure the rope. He doesn't really have a climbing kit or pythons or anything, but is there like a reasonably sturdy rock that he could tie it to so that we've got a quick escape route up the cliff?
You're not really seeing anywhere to tie it off up here.
Okay, no more wasted time. I will free climb on down.
Ysmyr could have held the rope for you.
Living on the edge. Been 5 minutes since I rolled the dice. Yeah.
Hey, give me an athletics roll.
I just imagine Ysmyr standing there with the rope in her hands, like, Tempest, I would have helped.
I rolled. It's just taking its time coming through.
Yeah, you have no problem. You make your way down.
And Ysmyr will fly down and polymorph back.
Okay.
Because now she can actually fly, guys. Yay!
Very fancy.
And there's Rhodes watching her go, like, that's my girl.
And looking at the valley laid out before us, Tempus is just going to take a minute and say, okay, these don't strike me as being like the same fae that we've encountered before, so everyone be very careful. No names, no apologies, don't thank them, don't talk about, things we're not supposed to talk about. That last fae seemed to take offense at you playing music at it, so maybe hold that in your back pocket.
No promises.
No promises. Everybody ready?
Okay.
Aye.
Yep. And off we go.
Is this water still dried up here, Ryan? Like there's no water in these basins and pools?
That's right. It's all dried. So you can see in this area there are wildly different types of vegetation. And you can see 4 figures standing around dear old dad. They all appear to be to have elven features, although they each look unique. And what would strike you is that they each look like they would belong in a different season.
Does their dad look like he's interacting or noticing any of them?
Yeah, he's in discussion with them.
Can I make an insight check to check the vibe?
Sure.
What language are they speaking in? Can we understand it?
Yeah, they're speaking in Sylvan, so Rhodes and Yaereene would be able to understand when you get a little closer.
And Yaereene will translate.
Am I able to get a sense of what's going on with the 21?
Yes. You get the sense that he is quite comfortable in their midst talking to the 4 different figures, but the 4 Eladrin appear to be looking at each other with some amount of distrust. They don't show any of that towards him, but they're on their guard around each other.
So Rhodes will just quietly mention to the rest of the group to tread lightly.
Okay.
Tempus is going to take the lead. Fixing his gaze upon Lysanthier, he's just very gently just going to ignore all of the seasonal Eladrin, and he is just going to walk a bit of a meandering path towards Lysanthier, trying to stay out of range of any of the other people here.
Okay. As you approach, he turns towards you and waves his hand while still speaking to the others and says, "And here they are, just as I mentioned, my children."
I'm guessing he said that out loud?
Yes.
Or not out loud.
He said it in common.
And where are we?
We are at
Kachara, are you coming?
the edge of the Fey realm. There is a gateway nearby that will take us down to the Fey realm proper. But this is a pathway that has been used for countless generations to enter your world from the Fey realm.
We slew the demon, or the devil, that was threatening to summon a great old one, it said. But we left a demon behind us locked in a summoning circle.
Ah, that must be why the water dried up then. It dried up and I saw no sign of you, so I made my way here and see you were right behind me. I've only been here for a short time.
I am assuming that something will be done in regards to the creature we left behind.
Well, yes, I imagine someone will have to go and check in on it. But it is of little matter if the devil, as you say, is dealt with and the way is clear once more. Have little doubt that it will remain safe. We will send more Eladrin here to protect the barrier, especially with your people going to Kalalan.
Not that I'm suspicious of you or anything, Ryan.
No, not at all.
I'm suspicious. No.
At any rate, I was
Right.
just bargaining with the Eladrin here for your safe passage through the realms. There was some disgruntled mutterings about a Fey-touched child to be going through, but I've smoothed everything over and assured them that the Moonblade has returned home, and there will be more dealings, I'm sure, as there always are, but for the time being, they have all agreed to allow all of you passage.
Including the unborn.
Yes.
Tempus going to cast a gaze around and is going to say, Uncle or not, the hand that reaches out for Ysmyr's child without her permission comes off. And I'm going to look very clearly at Lysanther when I say that.
He nods and says, no one will be taking a child from Ysmyr Yggdrasil unless it is pointedly agreed upon with her. The child to be is hers. The decision rests with her.
Well, as long as that's established.
I do think that during our journeys through the Fey realms, you will come to understand the importance of your child and how his fate will be much better if he remains here for training rather than being thrust into danger in your world.
Yeah, Ysmyr's not even going to reply to that.
Okay. So he looks at all of you and says, are you prepared for your journey into the Fey realm?
Yaereene will look to Ysmyr.
I think we are.
And you are clear on the rules?
Out of curiosity, is there some sort of Fey rule about music?
No rules per se that I can think of. Everyone has their own personal taste, of course. Not all Fey get along with each other, and some find the music of others offensive.
So I think we can safely surmise that KTR was playing like the wrong type of Fey music to a different type of Fey. Richard, you still with us, buddy?
I think we lost him.
Yep.
Should we basically avoid touching anything if we can help it? Food, everything.
I would say don't eat any Fey food or drink unless you are invited to. If you see food laying about, don't touch it. There are certain niceties and etiquettes that must be adhered to, and if you go eating and drinking food that belongs to another without their permission, there can certainly be consequences.
Maybe you should go over all the rules with us?
Well, very briefly, first choose your words very carefully. I think that you've run into that on your own already. It shouldn't even need to be said at this point. Also, never share your full name with anybody. If you want to use made-up names, that is the norm for Fae. Of course, I know your full names, well, just is what it is. Always pay your debts and don't return more than you borrowed. So, in terms of socialization, I would say never say that you're sorry, never say thank you. We don't like to be in your debt, and we don't like you being in our debt. Everything should be just calm and peaceful. Don't accept gifts unless there is an exchange agreed upon where you are having a transaction with a fae. If they give you a gift, you will owe them something if you accept it. And that's something, if not defined ahead of time, can be quite problematic. As I mentioned, don't eat food or drink unless you are invited to. Never give a fae cheap clothing. We are highly offended, and he looks at some of the clothing that you guys are wearing. If you give us clothing that is not up to our standards. Do not mention that you have a newborn child at home or speak the names of children. And while he says this, he looks directly at Rhodes.
Rhodes will meet that stare completely unflinching. There is definitely an unspoken challenge there.
And finally, don't step into any fairy rings. These are circles of mushrooms, typically. If you see one, don't step into it. There's no telling where it will take you. A final rule for our travels is to follow my steps exactly. Stepping off the path can lead to problems. There are bubbles in time, and I can see them and wend my way through them with ease, to the point where it won't even look like I'm taking a path to avoid anything. And if you take a shortcut, you may find yourself out of touch with the rest of us for some time.
I understand.
Tempus is going to actually drop some of the seething hostility for a moment, and he's going to say, is there ever a circumstance in which you can think of that there's, an advantage to breaking any of these rules and infuriating any of the Fae? Let's face it, if there's one thing that I'm good at, it's being offensive.
That is certainly true. I would say that for every rule in the Fae realm, there are exceptions. So I would say try to stick to those rules as best you can. But there may be times when you may meet somebody who doesn't adhere to the rules. For instance, if we were to run into some of the dark giants that live below the Fae realm on our travel, all bets are off with them.
Is it ever hard for you, knowing the result of every conversation, knowing what each day will bring to you? Is it ever a difficult burden for you to carry?
Yes.
Well, then I have to compliment you on your courage, because at the end of our journeys I am going to kill thee.
And I would like to point out, none of us actually gave you our names.
True enough. Are we prepared?
Ysmyr will look at the others.
Curse nods.
Yaereene nods.
Rhodes will take Ysmyr's hand and he'll nod.
Then come with
And
me.
he's-
Following in his steps directly, I might add.
Me too.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I didn't see the complete steps he took, so I will imply it in word.
Yeah, just assume it.
Yeah, that's fine. So you guys follow, and there's this dark hole in the ground. He just leaps into it and falls down. All of you join him.
Is it big enough that we can, do we have to go in one at a time, or can we go in multiple people at once?
It would be one at a time, yeah.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Whatever the order is, Rhodes will go last.
Okay. As you free fall down this dark hole, you lose all sense of direction and time. The light from above becomes a pinprick and then is lost, and it's just utter darkness. You're not sure how much time passes before you see light below your feet, and As you approach, it gets brighter and brighter until you come out into an enormous cavern. Uh, the distances you can't even imagine from one end to another. And below you, you see a land split into 4 distinct colors, again, reflective of the seasons of the Fae. And you continue to fall until you come to the summer realm. And before you splatter on the ground unceremoniously, you feel magic swirl around you, and your slow fall. Your slow. Oh God, I can't even talk now. Your fall slows until you reach the ground with just the most gentle of touches.
Check to see everyone's there.
Was there supposed to be a map change?
No, I couldn't actually find a map that I wanted to use for this, and I didn't have time to make one. So this is just theater of the mind at this point.
And can we assume
Gotcha.
Katir's with us?
Yes, of course. So Lysanther says, I just have a quick trip that I need to make to the palace, and I need to hand off the Moonblade to my queen, and then we will be off to the marshes.
Well, I guess we have no choice but to follow.
Excellent. I'm glad to see that you are learning obedience. And he turns and strides off, making
Don't
his way.
mistake obedience for necessity.
He smiles at that and continues on through the woods. The forest is extremely lush. There are magical fairy lights floating through the leaves and around the tree trunks. You see mystical creatures wandering through the woods. There's a pack of unicorns off in the distance. There are pixies and sprites fluttering around. They're not giving you any heed at all. They're keeping their distance. But you do note that all of them look at you, at least briefly. Uh, they're not openly staring, and any glances that they make appear to be so quick that they're trying to make it look like they're not looking at you. But the travel itself is unimpeded, and you come to an amazing structure that is pure white with tall columns that are made of it appears to be marble-like substance that's etched with vines that appear almost natural around it. And he turns to you when you come to the steps and says, "Please wait here. I will be back momentarily."
Well,
Uh,
anyone else still annoyed?
Yeah, but he's not my dad, so I'm just letting you guys take the lead.
I have transcended annoyance, and I will spread him across the landscape when we no longer need him.
You just say the word.
Well,
He moves off without waiting for an answer. And time ticks on, and he's not returning.
Almost immediately after he leaves, Tempus is going to just get down on his knees and sort of like a, sitting back on his ankles kind of position. And he's going to do something that he can now do now that he's 10th level.
Which is?
Posted to chat. We can talk.
Ooh.
We can talk a little bit about what that actually ends up looking like. But Tempus going to commune with nature. I kind of imagine it as like he has this little totem of a little bear that he has been whittling on in his spare time that he's going to just sort of clasp in his hands, and he's going to close his eyes and just tune everything out around him. And then when he just sort of opens his eyes, he's not really looking at anything around him, but he's like looking at this spirit of the bear that he entrusts his savage soul to and uses for, to gain his own inner power from. So what do you think, Ryan? Does the spell work? Am I able to commune with nature?
You certainly are. What 3 things would you like to learn?
Knowledge of up to 3 facts. I am looking for powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elemental, or undead influence from other planes of existence. Or excuse me, no, that would be, I'm looking for information about powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead. I'm going to ask the bear totem, what are the names of any powerful fae around me?
You can't get their names.
Okay, excuse me then. Something that I like, a title or a form of address. Like, give me something flowery about them, rather than like a name to give me power over them.
Okay. There is the Queen of the Elves and the King of the Elves are inside the palace ahead of you. And the Fey realm is unsurprisingly filled with Fey creatures of lesser power as well, all around you within the 3-mile radius. There are countless Fey. But the most powerful ones that you sense are within the palace ahead of you.
Are there any influences from other planes of existence with 3 miles? Specifically, I'm wondering if there's gateways out of the Fey realm so that we're not maybe quite as reliant on Lysanther.
You do sense that there are gateways that would take you to other planes of existence. You're not sure what planes, but you do definitely sense that there are gateways scattered throughout the Fey realm.
Last fact. Is there any creatures, we're probably going to put this under the powerful celestial, is there any creatures in the air in the 3 miles related to the Stormlord?
No.
And Tempus will nod, open his eyes, and relay everything to the party except for the information about the Stormlord. That is for him and the things in his head.
Okay, I think so we're kind of on stairs outside of the palace, or what?
You guys are on the grounds outside of the
Grounds?
palace. Yeah.
Okay. I think Ysmyr's just gonna ask everyone, so past that, how are we all doing? The tunnels were already exhausting, and well, Katira, Rhodes, you got hit pretty hard. How are we right now?
I'm fine, Ysmyr. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, I likely will anyway. All right.
I'm kind of hankering to, go find one of these gateways and tweak dear old Dad's nose to show that we're not maybe as helpless without him as he thinks. Although because I want it, that probably means it's a bad idea, right?
We've had bad enough luck with the Faewild, and we weren't even in it.
I think it is within our best interest to bide our time.
Oh, here's hoping. He hands over the Moonblade quickly.
What do you think it means to know that the king and queen of the elves are in this palace? I thought that, the king and queen of the elves were the more, normal rulers on our plane of existence. Who are these king and queen that he's here to see?
I thought you were going to be.
Exactly.
Well, technically, the Faewild isn't our world, so there's that. They're just king and queen of here. As for what I'm supposed to be, I don't know what that means now that the Moonblade's been handed over. That was my only proof, and at this point, it basically stands since everyone wants a king in the north anyway. Tempus, you probably have better claim than I do at this point. You and Katira, so who knows?
Anybody who thinks that I'm more qualified to be a ruler of the elves on account of me great hairy bollocks is going to be put in charge of cleaning them. You're the one who should be in charge.
You do come up with quite the sayings.
Well, I appreciate that, but I guess we'll have to see when we get back.
I, for one, am really hankering to kill this lich and, help starting to restore the balance to the living world.
That's the more important part, anyway.
And at that point, Lysanther comes strolling down the steps from the palace and waves to you all and says, "Good, excellent. The king and queen wish you safe passage, and we will continue on to the marshes.
So, actually, while it's on my mind, what does it mean that they have the Moonblade now? What does it mean for our realm? I mentioned to the others, really it was, well, my only claim.
Your blood is your claim. The sword is merely proof of that blood.
Yes, and now we don't have proof.
What were you planning on doing with the proof?
So far, it was working very well at reminding people that the line of the kings and queens was still in existence.
Well, I believe to that end, you did your job. People are aware that the bloodlines of the Elven Royals continue, and there are many who already call you the Queen of the Elves, whether or not you actually are.
Thanks for making my point.
Tempus is going to take his ring of warming and say, "This isn't exactly the ring that you gave to my mother. That one was taken from me by a dragon. But I just want to keep reminding you, you're not my father. I am going to kill you. I repudiate any connection that I have with you, and I am going to give this back to you. What you do with it is up to you. It's exactly the same as the ring that you left with my mother." And I'm going to cast the ring of warming at his feet.
He turns and heads off and says, "This way to the swamp."
Gonna walk away, leaving the ring behind. Or rather, following him.
Okay.
Ysmyr will just sigh and start following too.
Yeah, so will Yaereene.
And Rhodes will bring up the rear, assuming Katira will also fall in line there.
Okay. And so you guys follow the Santhier again, without a sun and moon and stars. There's absolutely no sense of time. You don't ever feel yourself getting tired here. So it could be no time at all that you've walked. But it feels like you've taken a great many steps that would indicate that a great deal of time has passed. It's very unsettling, given what you're used to in your own world. And as Lysanthier said, his course does change very slightly from time to time, and he's humming and whistling to himself as he walks, trusting that you are all following directly in his wake.
Okay,
I assume I will have to hold the shoulder of whoever is in front of me because I can't see again.
sure. We'll let it be Ysmyr this time.
Does that mean we're holding hands instead?
Yes, they are.
Only if you want to.
Oh, okay. God damn it.
We all want you to.
The true Rhodes response is I would grab her butt, but in this instance, I will just hold her hand.
So as you make your way through the Summer Realm, Lysanthier takes you down rather steep inclines, down and down through canopies until you reach a rather pleasant smelling swampy area. And you can see around you that the ground falls away into water that's kind of murky. There are very, very large lily pads with large flowers blossoming on them. And you start to see some ruined ships and such in the waters as you make your way. And it's at this point that Lysanthier stops and yawns and says, "If you don't mind, it has been a very long day, and I would like to at least have a rest here to regain my strength for the journey that is to come."
So we'll just make camp here then?
Yes, let's move up into this intersection. It's perfectly safe, and I will meditate here on our path forward.
We will follow in his steps exactly.
Okay, and he comes up to this T intersection and kneels down in the marshy land and closes his eyes.
I guess for the rest of us, if we want to make a camp,
We don't want to really spread out, though.
find spots to lie down nearby and take a rest. One person on watch, or two.
I think maybe 2 here.
Yeah, let's do 2 people per watch.
We can overlap then.
Yeah. Why don't I stay up first? I don't sleep nearly as good as the rest of you elfy folk. And I'll take like the first 2 watches, and I'll do my little bit of communing with nature to see if there's anything interesting in the area. And then I don't think we want to go beyond Lysanthia. He was very clear that we should only be stepping in ground that he has trod already. So let's make the world's most awkward camp in the line behind us.
I think that sounds smart.
And we'll pitch a few tents, and we'll generally not move beyond Lysanthia on the path. And Tempus is going to commune with nature again, if he may.
How often can you do that?
It's a ritual spell, baby. As often as I feel it's not going to get on your nerves and be obnoxious.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so sorry, what was the rest order? Or watch order, I mean?
Okay, if we're gonna overlap, we can have let's just pretend Kitiara and one person on the first one, then that other person and next person on the second. Like it kind of staggers.
Yeah, we'll chain it. So Katiara, Tempus for first, Tempus and let's say Yaereene for second, Yaereene, Ysmyr for third, Ysmyr, Rhodes for fourth, Rhodes, Katiara for fifth, and then Katiara will round us out for the last one.
Or however that covers stuff, I guess.
Okay. So on that first watch, Tempus and Katiara are up. Tempus, you cast your spell. What 3 pieces of knowledge are you looking for?
Is any of the water in the area potable, safe to drink?
No.
Are there any buildings within a 3-mile radius that, are there any buildings within a 3-mile radius?
No.
Are there any prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or people within a 3-mile radius?
You do pick up plants in the area. There are vines and trees, bushes of flowers, and they all feel like they've been twisted by some kind of foul magic. So best to shy away from those where you can.
Thank you for the info. Tempus will convey that to everybody while we get the camp set up. And KTR and I will launch into the first watch.
And that also picked up beasts or animals?
Yeah.
You said animals. Is that the same as beasts?
The line says prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or people. I think this is your call if a magical beast would count as an animal or if they'd be a fey creature.
I'm going to compare what it says about a horse, which says it's a beast. Okay, so you do also sense giant spiders all around you.
Fun. I'll convey all of that to the party. Don't drink the water. Look out for giant spiders. And there's no buildings in the area.
Great, just great. Of course, there's giant spiders.
Tempus, can you give me a perception check, please?
Only if you promise to roll one for Katiara.
I will. A little while after everyone else has fallen asleep, you start to hear some sounds coming from the southeast, splashing.
Quick, Katiara. I must investigate this clearly suspicious, definitely not a trap noise, is what I'd say if we weren't in the Fey realm. Get bent, ye ambushers.
I love Tempus.
You also hear some soft groans accompanied by the splashing sounds.
Yeah. If you're able to groan, you can also call out for help, you wieners. Get better.
Okay, you ignore the sounds, and your watch ends, or your watch with Katiara ends. Katiara goes to sleep, and then it's Tempus and Yaereene.
Tempus will communicate to Yaereene that there's some giant spiders out there trying to lure them out into the woods.
She'll take her bow out and make sure it's nicely accessible.
Okay. And through the course of your this watch, there's no noise that you hear.
Okay.
Next watch is Yaereene and Ysmyr.
I'll convey that there's apparently very quiet giant spiders up there.
Great. Fantastic. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye out.
Okay. Can you
sorry.
guys?
Oh,
Yep.
I was just gonna. After a bit, Ysmyr will ask you, Yaereene. I had a quick question for you. Have you been able to sense the Storm Lord while we're in this realm, or not?
Well, I usually do it when I sleep, but we haven't done a lot of that here.
Okay. It was just a thought. So I guess if you hear from him, let me know.
Okay.
From them. Sorry. All right. Now we're good.
Okay. So a little ways into your watch, you hear a splashing and groaning sound off to the southeast.
Does it sound like a person?
Could be.
Ryan.
Tempus would have conveyed what sounds he was hearing on his watch and his suspicions about it. Just saying.
She'll share that with Ysmyr.
Okay. So,
Can you cast light?
no. I can make some sparks. That's about it.
Okay.
Wake the cleric.
Cleric's gonna wake up soon anyway.
The rest of your watch goes by uneventfully. Next up is Ysmyr and Rhodes.
And she will convey what they heard.
That sounds exciting.
Well, as long as it's not, bothering us, I don't really want to get lost going after it or something.
I think this is the one case where we should all do as was suggested to us and stay in step and keep our heads down.
Agreed.
Ryan, I sent you a query.
I also am not sure where Rhodes would be positioned on this map, seeing as I have not bothered to explore it because I cannot see anything.
Can you not click off of your character to see what other people see?
It doesn't let me unless it's space that I've explored before.
Oh, that's strange. So now I've moved your token a little bit. Can you click off of your character now?
Okay, no, I see what I have to do. If I click the ruler and then click away, I can see now.
Okay.
My bad.
No problem.
So I guess Rhodes will keep his quiet watch with Ysmyr.
Okay. And it passes by quietly. Next up is Rhodes and Katiara.
Did Katiara find out this information in his first watch? Is he aware of this?
Yeah, he had first watch with Tempus.
That was interesting.
So it wasn't just me.
Yeah, we lost Ryan.
I
No, he's
trust
back
nothing. It's a wicked plan. Nobody trust anything.
now.
Don't move.
Sorry about that. I accidentally hit R while I was holding control, and it rebooted my Discord.
So Rhodes will probably just relay information as he has heard it and just update Katiara that there has been no real change.
Okay. There's no sounds as your watch passes. And the last watch is just KTR all by himself, and that passes uneventfully too. So you all wake up, and nobody has done anything to move out of their place that they started in during the night. If you can call it night. There is no change in the lighting in the area at all. It looks exactly the same all the time. So Lysanthier gets up, stretches, and says, "Are you all ready to continue on?"
I think so.
This should pass easily enough, so long as you follow my steps. Exactly. The maze is tricky if you don't.